Hi, I'm Elizabeth Coon here with Jacqueline Albo from the cross country team. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
So how did you get into running and when did you start?
Well, I started my freshman year with track and field, and then junior year is when I started doing actual cross country. More so, running for me was about my mental health because it was very bad in high school. And it kind of gave me a sense of coping, but also the way that people say that running away from your problems gives you comfort, it actually did help a lot. On the track, it was more so I was running away from people behind me, but cross country, it was actually much bigger than that since I just went into it without any practice at all. I had kept putting it off until my coaches were like, okay, we want you to do this, so join this year, and I ended up doing that. My first year, I had been 100th of a second off from going to states.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And it was kind of just something that you decided to do just to kind of help yourself,
Yeah, it actually did help a lot because I realized from it that even without any practice, if I actually put effort into something, it will make me stronger, and that helped me a lot physically and mentally.
And I know that the college process can be kind of intimidating and scary, so what was your experience with that?
It actually wasn't very intimidating because I had my recruit during COVID, so my signing was in my driveway. Like we talked about that earlier, but I basically just signed papers, took photos, and then talked with my high school coaches about going forward, what they think I'll be capable of, and I'm just putting that effort in now. So,
what about LTU stood out to you?
Honestly, campus at first, because I had gone to a college scouting, what they do in the high schools, but at the time they only had a cross-country team, so I was like, I'm not sure, because I had only done cross-country for 2 years, and I was more into track and field, but then I actually came here on a tour, looked at the technology and stuff for the school. I was like, this is really cool, I kind of like it, and being here now, I'm happy I actually chose that decision.
What was the adjustment like, kind of going from high school to college?
It was kind of difficult. We were still going through COVID, so my first year, I actually didn't have a roommate at all, which was kind of surprising because she ended up having online classes the whole time. So that almost brought back some form of depression from high school, but being able to still be on the track team, cross country, see some people during that time was good. And also I made a lot of friends with the cafeteria workers. They kind of cracked me, so.
Yeah, so what has your teammates played in that role, having those people always be kind of like your family?
Well, at the end of the day, family is people who support you, love you unconditionally, things like that. And it's way different from how it was my freshman year. None of us really knew each other. And so it was like how you see in high school when everyone has their group of friends they just stick to. It was kind of like that. But over the past 2 or 3 years, we all opened up to each other, been more supportive of each other. And that's really nice to see, especially because our girls team is really small. So a lot of it was the guys trying to make us feel more comfortable because we didn't have a lot of people. But even then, the work ethic and stuff that we have as only 5 or 6 girls made us closer.
You mentioned that you have a little bit of a smaller group. How do you want to build that going forward?
Well, a lot of it has to do with recruiting and being able to post everything on social media and things like that. We have track and field and cross country Instagram pages to focus on how we're doing as a team, and a majority of it is that we all just want to connect with people and build ourselves up with each other. We've already done that so far in our season, just from the past 2 years, going from 8th to 6th to 5th in the conference with solely 5 or 6 runners. And I believe that if we have more, we could be way better and do tremendous.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, just the growth within the program, I think, is really, it's really cool. So kind of switching gears to academics, what's your major and what's your dream job?
Well, I'm a computer science major, which is kind of difficult. Honestly, it was a good choice for me. I took a computer science class in high school with my friend just for fun, but I actually enjoyed it a lot. And I like to build things, so I was trying to focus onto software development for it and showcase things like that. I'm not sure if it's the same thing. One of my friends told me it wasn't, but a lot of things can come out of that. And one of my things that I like to do is drawing, so I thought maybe animation could be a cool part of it if I wanted to. I might have to do more years if I end up focusing on that for software development, but it's still nice.
And how do you like the LTU program so far?
They're really good. I was surprised, actually. I thought it was gonna be difficult because the first year I had online, and it was more so just me having to follow along with my teacher, because there's a bunch of different credits you have to get for computer science, and one of them is a coding club. So I've learned Python, C, C++, and doing that on Zoom is not the easiest.
Yeah, so how have you liked your professors so far and the small in-class ratio of students to the professor?
Well, the professors here are really nice. Honestly, I didn't expect that it was going to be so diverse because it's mainly a technology school, and then there's the other focuses like architecture, business, but everyone has their own intelligence on the subjects they're teaching. They go in depth and also show things that pertain to it in the actual world. So that makes things super easier to understand for the classes.
Relating that back to real world experiences, what kind of opportunities have you had here at Lawrence Tech?
A lot, actually. One of the things I do is work for the cafeteria. So I do a lot of catering for the school. I've seen like a bunch of teachers on their off time and gotten more close to them. I have the sports teams that I'm on. I do a lot of traveling with that and seeing the other schools, how they work, how their programs are. It's a lot of things.
I was gonna say, you sound really busy. So how do you balance athletics with academics?
It's hard, but it's possible. It just takes time, because a lot of the times, one of the things that I have is I listen to music a lot, so I do that as like background noise for when I'm studying, but sometimes it's really hard to focus if I'm too tired after a practice, so I'll take a nap or I just put it off for the day. I don't know. That's not the best thing to do, but every student is like that, where it's like, I just don't want to do anything today. But most of my assignments are due on weekends, so it does give me time to have at least 1 or 2 breaks during the week before I finish everything.
So can you talk a little bit about this year's cross-country team in comparison to years past?
Oh, it's so amazing. Honestly, I'm super proud of them. We came a long way from freshman year, because I'm pretty sure we only had at least 3 meets. One of them was our intramural one where we just do as a team. And then we had one more with others before just our conference race. And I've built up a lot from that as well, because my freshman year I tried to treat it like high school, but that wasn't the case at all. College is way different from high school sports. And I know that now from this season because they expect more out of me going into the next one. But we've done phenomenal.
Yeah. And what growth have you seen within yourself, over these past couple of years?
Well, not even just in myself, in them as a whole. My team of the 5, 6 of us, the work that they put in every single day, we don't just train ourselves, we train each other. And I'm proud of where we have been.
Yeah, and we gotta brag about you for a second, because you went to nationals. So how was that whole experience? Can you talk a little bit about it?
I'm not sure, really. The one thing we had a conversation about was that I had a bid for nationals, and I didn't even realize that. I thought it was just a bid for the guys' team. Going as an individual was...
It's incredible.
Just strange, almost. I was like, am I supposed to be here? I don't know.
Absolutely.
It was weird being the only girl there, but I know next year that's not going to be the case.
Yeah.
Especially with how our team has been and how we go each season. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. What are some of the goals that you have for yourself as an individual and for the team?
Well, me individually, my goal has always been to break 19 minutes, get into that range. One of my high school friends had done an 18:35 during her indoor season. I really want to beat that.
Yeah.
But I know there's girls on my team that have already done times like that though and been close to it. So working along with them, I know it'll be way better next season and get to where I want to be. And as a team, we're just going to do a phenomenal job.
Yeah, and it sounds like you guys just push each other to be better. You know, what do you have to say about this team in particular?
This team in particular is the best I've been on, actually. 'Cause I'm used to being on one with over 100 or 200 people, and seeing the collective work we put in as just 5 or 6 is awesome.
Yeah. So what would you say to anyone who is in high school or at a community college or is unhappy where they are right now at school? Why would you say choose LTU?
Oh, me personally, LTU is just the place you be if you want to do more work and see the people that will be there to push you as well.
What do you enjoy most about being a student here at Lawrence Tech?
There's a lot of things to enjoy. I have my family of my teams that I'm on. I have my friends from classes and around campus. I live in the area, so there's a lot of things to do. And just the environment as a whole is amazing. I know, especially because I work at the cafeteria, I get to see a lot of people who are just regular students, commuters, athletes, and you get to understand the people just by seeing them, especially what they eat. Oh my gosh. Half the time there's no food left because of some people.
Seriously. Yeah, well, we thank you so much for joining us. We want to wish you good luck the rest of your cross country season and the rest of your academic season.
Thank you.
Thank you.